For our writing lesson today, our learning intention is I am learning about suffixes. To be successful, I can identify one suffix. I can identify many suffixes. I can use suffixes to help me read and spell, and I can explain how suffixes change the meaning of a word. I'd like you to pause the video and watch this link, which is a book called If You Were a Suffix. And when you've watched that, I'd like you to come back to this point in the lesson. Great! So what is a suffix? Well, a suffix are some letters that are added to the end of a word which changes the word to a new word. There's two examples here. We could add full to the end of a word, or perhaps less to the end of the word. If we had the word small, we could add ER to the end and change the word to smaller, or we could add the suffix EST to change the word to smallest. If we had the word love, can you think of a suffix that we could add to the end that would change the word? I thought of one. Lovely. We can add ly to the end. What about the word jump? Can you think of some letters that would be a suffix to add to the end of the word jump to change the word? The first one I thought of was jumping, ing. But we could also add ed, jumped. Today we are going to focus on using the suffix ed. Just like in the word jump, we changed it and made it jumped. When we add ed to verbs, which are doing words, it can change it into the past tense. So that means it's something that has happened. So here's an easy way for you to help to remember this. Uncle Ed is very old. He likes to remember things that happened in the past. With most verbs, we can add Uncle Ed's name to change the verb to the past tense. So adding the suffix ed to a word can change it to something that has already happened. So it changes it to its past tense. So here's an example. I walked in the park. We've added the ed to the walk because Uncle Ed has already done it. It has already happened in the past. I poured the milk on my cereal. Again, that's something that has happened in the past, so we've added an ed to the word pour to create poured. I talked to my friend Bert. We've added ed to talk because Uncle Ed did this in the past. There it is there. Can you read this sentence? Great. Can you find the word that we've added a suffix to? Here it is. I played football. So it happened in the past, so it's got the ed on the end of the word play. Now it's your turn. What I'd like you to do is to open up your book that has the coloured lines. So you're looking for your handwriting book that has the sky, the blue, the grass, the green, and the brown, which is the dirt. You're going to write these words into your book, and you need to add ed onto the end of these verbs, which will be the suffix ed, to change them into past tense, which means it's already happened. Now earlier we looked at this first word. This first word says jump. So you're going to write jump in your book, and you need to add ed to the end. The next word across says climb. That's a tricky one because the B is silent. Climb. And you'll need to add the suffix. Then finish. Then you'll do play, fold, and open. You might like to pause the video here while you complete those in your book. Now that you've done that, I wonder if you can put these words into a sentence. Jumped. I jumped over the puddle. That's my sentence. I want you to write into your book with the green, the blue, and the brown lines, jumped, and a sentence that you can put that word into. Of course, make sure that you're using a capital letter and a full stop at the end, and that you're writing your best handwriting on the correct lines. And make sure you do 4 sentences. The next part is to add a suffix to these words. We're still using ed. See if you can do it yourself. I'm not going to read these out because you're going to use your reading powers and strategies to sound them out, stretch them out, and write them in your book. And the challenge is to see if you can put them in a sentence. So Blue Group will be adding ed to those words. Say them to someone or out loud. And if you can, you could even try and record them on a video and submit that to Dojo. That will also be the same for Red Group. Yellow Group will be doing the same, and I'd like you to write at least 2 of those last words in a sentence. And Green Group, you can try and do the same, but at least 4 words. If you're feeling really confident and would like the super challenge, you can do all of the words. So let's review our success criteria. I can identify 1 suffix. And we've done that today, so well done. We've looked at the suffix ed. I can identify many suffixes. Well, we looked at a few at the beginning. I wonder if you can remember them. I can use suffixes to help me read and spell. And I can explain how suffixes change the meaning of a word.